Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watchman is here with your latest update on potential tropical cyclone number 6. Currently, potential tropical cyclone number 6 is continuing to head towards the west and affecting the Lesser Antilles and Leeward Islands right here. And you can kind of see right down here. Barbados is just getting the very southern tip of the storm right down there. This is continuing to intensify. It has not been upgraded to a tropical storm, but I expect the Hurricane Watchman expects this to be upgraded to a tropical storm roughly at 10 p.m. Central Time, which is roughly 3 o'clock UTC, 3 o'clock a.m. UTC. So currently, this is what we're looking at right here. There's a lot of heavy rain. I kind of want to mention the amount of heavy rain to the north, and so Barbados is going to miss a majority of the heavy rain, but a heavy shower here or there is still possible. These islands up here, I really need to get my islands done because I don't know my islands very well. But these islands up here in this region will get heavy rain, which could lead to landslides and mudslides. And this could be the cause of catastrophic flooding and the loss of life. And the possibility of the damage, possibly the damage to life and property. So, gusty winds will be possible up to 40 to 45 mile an hour wind gusts right now. I think that as this approaches, Puerto Rico could get up to 50 to 60 mile an hour sustained winds as it continues to move in this direction. And so they could see heavy rain, heavy flooding. And then again, if this goes over the Dominican Republic, it would see a lot of damage because there are mountains in that area that are about 10,000 feet up, which would kind of rip the guts out of the storm right here. But right now, we also have to look at the tropical cyclone heat potential, the TCHP, and have an idea of how much energy is in the ocean available for the tropical cyclones to strengthen. This storm is incredibly powerful in terms of flooding. This storm is very strong in terms of flooding, but again, it's not like Laura, where we saw 150 mile an hour winds upon landfall there in Cameron, Louisiana. But this is going to be a big flood event, unfortunately. And a lot of landslides and mudslides with this storm are possible. So I think by either between 10 p.m. or 1 a.m. we could see this intensify to a tropical storm. And it would be called Fred, but we're not going to be using Fred in our titles, and we will not be using the name Fred until it gets named. Mainly we do this because we don't want to scare anybody thinking that there's a tropical storm headed their way, even though it's only like 4 miles off. It's 39 miles an hour as a tropical storm. But we will not be using the name Fred until it gets recognized unless it gets upgraded to a tropical storm issued by the National Hurricane Center. So there's the storm right here, ladies and gentlemen, still here and producing a lot of heavy rain right now. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to put them in the chat below, and I will certainly answer your questions. I'm sorry I'm like stuttering. I'm just, I can't think of what I'm trying to say. American Virgin Islands. So you have the U.S. Virgin Islands up here. The U.S. Virgin Islands up here. I can't see anything. U.S. Virgin Islands and British Virgin Islands are up here, and just off frame is Puerto Rico. So incredibly heavy rain, and there's a lot of rotation. I kind of want to kind of just show y'all that some of this convection is trying to wrap around here. I just want to point that out right there. You can see that convection is trying to wrap around and move around, but again, there's a lot of dry air. And so because there's a lot of dry air, the storm is relatively small. If you saw, if I bring up a map, I'm going to bring up a map of the East Pacific and a map of the Atlantic, and just so you have an idea of how big or how small PTC 9 or PTC 6 actually is. I can't think. Back to satellite imagery, just so we have an idea in terms of what Kevin and PTC 6 look like in terms of size. So as you see over here, if we move over here, there's Kevin. Now it's very hard to see, but that right there is PTC 6 right in this region. So the reason Kevin, Mark started pointing this out, which I thought was a really good point. Reason that Kevin is such a much larger storm is because it doesn't have the dry air, limiting convection and tropical storm activity, which is why this storm is so much. The storm right here is so much smaller because the dry air around it from the Saharan desert, known as the Saharan air layer. This door's open a little bit. It's bothering me. The Saharan air layer is actually preventing tropical storm development right now, which is why PTC 6 is so much smaller. But it is still big compared to the islands, and it's going to affect still most of all the islands in the Caribbean Sea if it moves along the track that the National Hurricane Center has given out in their latest advisory, the 8 p.m. advisory on potential tropical cyclone 6. Slide is going back to load every point once at the top. Yes, I'm going to go to HWT. Just want to, talk about that a little bit. Okay. What is the HWT showing? So regardless, I just kind of want to show y'all the fact that there's a lot of, not only just a lot of spin, but the amount of rain that gets wrapped around it. I'm not trying to create an eye wall, but you notice how much it falls apart over the, I can't even freaking think. Jesus. Hispaniola, Island Hispaniola. I cannot think right now. I've got so much going through my mind right now. So this falls apart a lot over the island of Hispaniola because of those high mountaintops. But as you can see, it does try to get its act back together right there. So there it is, very falling apart. But it really gets its act together once it moves through the Caribbean Sea and develops into a tropical system. But again, that high pressure strengthens a little bit. It could push the storm well to the south of the islands. If it weakens a little bit, it could push the storm to, the storm could move to the north. But if there's any little bit of change, the storm could completely miss the island Hispaniola and have a lot more strength and intensity. If it's a little bit stronger, that storm could move south of Hispaniola and Cuba, and similar to what Elsa did in July, in late June into July of 2021. I can't think. Just a little announcement I want to give out to everyone. If you enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, share this video, share this channel with your friends and family. We are trying to get up to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. It would mean a lot to me if I actually did get to 500 subscribers by the end of 2021. So if we could, that would make me really happy. So that would be amazing if we got up to 500 subscribers by December this year. Wind, probably between 60 and 70 miles an hour. As its peak, it would be my guess. I don't 100% know. I'm just gonna kind of go through this right here. 40 knots. There's 50 knots. So this shows this intensifying incredibly fast, making landfall. Now I don't think it's gonna make a landfall with winds. That's 60 knots to 70 miles an hour. So we're seeing between 65 and 70 miles an hour, which I think is a little strong. But you can see here, it does intensify to a hurricane. 67 knots. Now, I think so many cords everywhere. I think the HWT is a little bit overshooting on the intensity of this storm. But we'll have to watch. But this shows 67 knots, which is about over 75 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane right here. We'll have to see how strong this actually becomes. There's a possibility that this storm does actually get this strong. But again, as you can see, if we move it to time, there's makes landfall right there, and then it comes back 35, 40. There's 60 miles per hour. So again, if we go right here, that's 75 knots. That's about an 85 mile an hour Category 1 hurricane with an air pressure of 984 millibars. I believe this right here is Marathon Beach. right in this, right down. I want to say right here is Miami-Dade. I don't really know the counties of Florida very well. I just know southeast Florida is Miami-Dade. I know that's terrible, and I know these are the Keys. God, I should know what I'm talking about here a little bit more, but these are the Keys, Key West, Marathon Beach, Florida there. Marathon, Florida right there, Marathon there. And then obviously right over here, we have the Bahamas. So, yeah, they're showing this to be a 75 knot hurricane, which equates to about an 85 mile per hour category 1. So, this could be the first hurricane that impacts Florida. Elsa did not make landfall as a category 1. It made landfall as a 65 mile an hour tropical storm there. Are you a good person? Yeah, you think you are. This guy's pretty cool. I actually like this guy, so I'm gonna make you. Yeah. Yeah. Hold up, give me a minute. Alright, so again, we could be seeing that's 980. Now, wind gusts could be significantly stronger. We could be seeing winds gusting over 100 miles per hour. In some areas, it could be much stronger. We could be seeing wind gusting to a much stronger speed. So we could be seeing hurricane force wind gusts if this model is actually right, which I'll feel really stupid if I'm completely wrong. So this could be significantly over 100, could have wind gusts of over 100 miles an hour. And Miami, Florida could be seeing wind gusts of tropical storm force winds as the storm approaches. Here is what HMON is. Okay, what? I already think HMON's wrong already. I haven't even looked at what the model has said. Yeah, this just shows this developing and then moving south over Cuba. So I don't think that's what's gonna happen. See what we got over here in the chat. So again, if this is right, Florida could get a Category 1 hurricane. We don't know yet. I do want to look at the radar with PTC 6 right now. Oh, it's 6, right? Yeah. So as you can kind of see here, if we look at the radar here. Oh God, I do not know what these islands are. Seeing these islands, you can kind of see those right now in that region. A lot of heavy rain moving in those islands right now. So I like to keep these updates less than 30 minutes long, just kind of give an update and what we could be seeing with these tropical systems and what we could be expecting to see with them. Again, I try to do an update once every 3 hours. So my next update will be at 3 o'clock UTC. So, yeah. So again, this is the latest forecast. This is the latest satellite imagery. I think it's center circulation right here. I don't know, but again, I'm watching this. This might try to wrap around. We'll really have to watch and see what we have with the system. This develops into. This actually does in fact try to develop into a tropical storm. In the next 3 hours, I'll carefully be watching it because that could certainly be something that we have to see. We could be seeing dealing with the tropical storm here within the next 3 hours. So that's certainly a big possibility that I'm certainly worried about. We could be seeing this developing into some sort of a tropical storm within the next 3 to 6 hours. So again, I'll be definitely giving you all these latest updates. Look for any questions, comments, or concerns. So this has been your latest update on potential Tropical Cyclone 6. I don't want to keep y'all here any longer. Really, this has pretty much been it. I don't have a lot more else to say, but this has been your update on potential Tropical Cyclone 6. I just like to give these 15-20 minute short updates on these systems because mainly there's not a whole lot to talk about because again, these storms aren't very... they are long, and there's a lot to talk about. But again, we have to give in what I need to say, give what I need to say, and move on. And start and keep learning at the model. So that's it for today, guys. If anyone has any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to go in the chat below and let me know. And really, with all that being said, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll talk to you guys at 10 p.m. Central Time, 3 o'clock UTC. With all that being said, that is going to be it. And I'll talk to everyone later this evening at 10 o'clock. If anyone has any comments, questions, or concerns, go in the chat or in the comment section of this video if you're watching this as a video. And that is it. We will talk to you guys at 10 p.m. Central Time. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I'll talk to you again at 10 o'clock.